Go, Megan. Go to your house. Wouldn't it be cool if, like, Michael called back from the woods? But Dr. Loomis, I don't know what my house looks like.
Hello and welcome to the Cavern of Terror.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the Cavern of Terror, and welcome back to another one of these webcam videos. I cannot get enough of this style. I really like doing these videos. As you can tell by the thumbnail and obviously the title of this video, we are going to get into something really controversial here. Why I think Halloween 5 is underrated. I'll say it right now. It's no secret to you guys that Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers, is a very astronomically unpopular sequel with Halloween fans. It's also no secret that I like this movie. You can watch my review for Halloween 5. I've reviewed the entire original franchise, so if you want to go back and watch those videos, including my review of Halloween 5 with Drum Dums, you can go over to my Halloween playlist and check those reviews out. I've touched on the negatives that I have with Halloween 5, but that's not what this video is about. If you want to hear the negatives, go and watch my review. This video right here that you're watching, which I hope you're still watching if you haven't clicked off already, is about Halloween 5 and why I think it's underrated. But before we get into Halloween 5, we have to talk about Halloween 4. Back in '78, we had Halloween, and then we had the sequel to Halloween, Halloween 2, in 1981. And then we had a little bit of a break in the franchise until we got to Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. This is when we first had our issues with the franchise, because this is the one that didn't have Michael in it, and it proved to be a huge failure for the franchise. And we will get into why I think that Halloween 3 is amazing in another video, so spoilers for another video that I have coming up, and we will get into that. But fans wanted Michael. So what the Akkads did when Mustafa Akkad got the rights to Halloween, we actually brought Michael Myers back, and we did Halloween 4. At this point, you should not doubt that I like Halloween 4. I mean, this movie was great. I'm wearing my Danielle Harris Stab Happy t-shirt. I love this franchise, and I love this sequel in the franchise. And it took me a while to love the franchise, but this was one of the movies that made me love it. And the ending and Danielle Harris's performance in the movie just made me love it. And I'm giving it all this praise to tell you something that's probably going to make you click away from this video. Okay, how do I put this without getting another angry mob on my yard? Okay, Halloween 4, in a lot of ways, is just Halloween but bigger. I got a lot of Halloween movies on my desk. I'm not kidding, there's like 5 movies over here. As I said, I like Halloween 4, but if you look at the movie, Michael Myers escapes from medical staff. He steals a jumpsuit from a mechanic and goes to Haddonfield to try to kill some girls. That is literally Halloween. They changed things up by adding a few more locations. Michael Myers is being chased by his psychiatrist. That is Halloween in a nutshell. So, in the end, part 4 in this series is a paint-by-number sequel. A paint-by-number sequel with the Halloween name on it. Okay, so the first point to get our ball of controversy rolling is Halloween 4 was a good follow-up to Halloween 2, but it really didn't do anything new for the franchise. Now that we're on Halloween 5, the first, oh look, a camera. This is going to be really important because my first point here is the camera work in Halloween 5. The camera work in this movie is something that I really enjoyed, and something that is very unique to Halloween 5 itself, because in the first 4 movies, and you could say some of the ones afterwards, we get a lot of locked down cameras. We get a lot of wide shots. Not in Halloween 5. You get a lot of POV like you do in the other movies with Michael Myers and the breathing and all that. You get all that in Halloween 5 and in the other movies. But the one thing that Halloween 5 does with the cinematography that the other movies don't is hand cam. We get a lot of hand cam, and I think that puts you even further into the movie. It makes it a little bit more intense in certain scenes, especially the scene where Jamie Lloyd is in the children's hospital and she thinks she's being chased by Myers, and the camera is moving with her. It's moving around and it makes the scene extremely intense. And we don't get that in any of the other Halloween movies in the original franchise. We actually don't get that again until Rob Zombie's Halloween. So there's something that Halloween 5 does that none of these other original franchise movies have done. It brings an element of realism to this movie in this series that none of the other sequels did. Along with the hand cam, we actually get a lot of really stylish shots. I've said this in my review if you haven't seen it. There's one scene with Jamie Lloyd, actually two scenes that I'm going to talk about with Jamie Lloyd. The first one is an over the head shot of Jamie Lloyd in her bed while she's having a nightmare. It was just really stylish, and the way that the cinematography was working here was very dark shadows and the lightning coming in through the window. It looked really, really slick. I really enjoyed that, and it was something that we hadn't seen in the franchise before. Probably in Halloween 4 we did, and especially in the second act, but we definitely didn't see it in Halloween 2 or 1. Definitely not in 3 either. But we saw another scene that really, really stood out for me cinematography wise was when Rachel was at her house and she was looking for Max, and then you had Jamie at the children's hospital drawing on this board that had papers on it. But you saw from the other side through glass what she was doing. Really stylish, really cool, really unique. So that's a big plus. Moving on from the cinematography, we're going to go on to my next point, which I have entitled Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers Has Balls. This segment is going to be divided into 2 points, the death of Rachel and the character of Dr. Loomis. Halloween 4 was great, right? We got that awesome performance from Danielle Harris as Jamie Lloyd, and we got the really, really awesome final girl with Rachel, Ellie Cornell, probably the best female in this franchise since Jamie Lee Curtis in the where we are in the original timeline here. And those are awesome things, right? But here's something that could be even better. Let's kill her off. Let's kill her off 30 minutes into this movie. That takes balls. Now, as we can say, in the negatives, which I said I wasn't going to do, they didn't really have a solid game plan with what they were going to do after that. But they did something that not a lot of franchises have the balls to do. They killed their main character in the first 30 minutes. Gotta give them credit for that. If that doesn't get you hooked into the story, I don't know what does. You just got through Halloween 4. Your character made it. That Jamie did that crazy shit. Then you go to Halloween 5. Jamie's mute as fuck. And Rachel dies 30 minutes in. If you aren't interested to see what happens throughout the rest of this movie, then I don't know what's going to hook you. Let's talk about Donald Pleasance as Dr. Loomis. At this point in the franchise, Dr. Loomis is a man driven to the brink of insanity. With that being said, does he do some things that are crazy? Yes, and it is completely understandable because he's at his wit's end. He's doing everything that he thinks he has to do to bring down Michael Myers. If you were in that position at the end of the movie and you had the bait, you had Jamie Lloyd standing right there, and you knew that that would bring Michael to you so you could finally take him out, wouldn't you do the same thing? No one had confidence in Loomis in this movie. Everyone was second guessing him. So he had to do something drastic. He was doing stuff that was beyond what he would do in Halloween 4, but he really, really was at the end of his rope. He was driven to the point of sacrificing everything, even a little girl, to save everyone from something that he thought was pure evil. Okay guys, I think you deserve it by watching this video on Halloween 5. Here is a special bonus point, and that would be Danielle Harris as Jamie Lloyd. I have covered this character a lot. I've covered her in part 4. I've covered her in part 5. I talked about her in my ranking video. I'm wearing the shirt right now. Jamie Lloyd is amazing. Danielle Harris is amazing. And I think she's actually better in Halloween 5 and she is in Halloween 4. Because the fact that she doesn't speak in most of this movie, she has to bring a physical performance and act with her face. And it is outstanding. If you guys like really good child performances, Halloween 5 has one of the best ones. She is forced to have a physical showdown with someone that is over 6 feet tall and huge. She actually got stabbed in the leg in this movie in real life. So that is something that is commendable, and you're not really going to find that in any of the other Halloween movies. Circling back to Halloween 4, what we're going to talk about now is how Halloween 5 beat Halloween 6 to the punch. Before I've lost you guys entirely, I do have a point here. In Halloween 4, it really is, in a nutshell, Halloween. It's a paint by number sequel that literally is the story of the first one with some bigger elements to it. More characters, gorier kills, more, environments. In Halloween 5, they aren't afraid to experiment with the story. A lot of people talk about Halloween 6 and the Cult of Thorn and how this story is so crazy. It started in Halloween 5. I know what some of you are saying. They were writing the movie as they were going. They left it for Halloween 6 to figure that shit out. But what I'm trying to say is they thought outside the box. This wasn't just your average slasher movie like the fourth movie was. We added new things to this franchise. When Jamie touched her uncle in part 4, some of that power, some of that little supernatural power went over to her. You know that Michael Myers doesn't talk. Jamie Lloyd is mute in this movie. She doesn't talk at all. So she has this psychic connection with her uncle. And that is fucking dope. I love that. They took that small little scene at the end of Halloween 4 where she took the scissors and Jamie Lloyd got a little stab happy, you know what I'm saying? And they sprinkled it throughout the entirety of Halloween 5. Is Jamie on her uncle's side? Can she see what he's doing? Is she okay with it? We need to figure out if she's not one of the bad guys in this movie. The music in Revenge of Michael Myers is another thing that Halloween 5 did before Halloween 6. They moved away from the synthy stuff in Halloween 2 and Halloween 3 and went for a more modern approach, and they added the drums. It added something new and unique to this movie, and they added on that in Halloween 6. The last point that I have for you guys for Halloween 5 being underrated is Don Shanks as Michael Myers. Again, going back to Halloween 4, George P. Wilbur is okay in that role. I said that in my review. And really, something that I didn't mention in my review, he's not really Michael Myers for the whole thing. Tom Morga plays him in a majority of the scenes. He doesn't walk very much in the movie, and I really wasn't inspired by his performance. But Don Shanks is, in my opinion, terrifying in part 5. Michael Myers, for me, is all about presence, and I think that Don Shanks has it. And I know you can say that George P. Wilbur has a great presence in part 6, but really, they beat them to the punch here in part 5. Don Shanks just stands so still. It's all about the nuances with the character. I like how he uses the weapons, especially when he scratches that thing across Michael's car. That's just intimidating as shit. And there's just the small little nuances with the character where he has that small little head tilt when he's in the closet. It's all about the out of focus scenes with him and just how big he is in the imposing presence of Myers. And he's just brutal, especially in the scene in the barn with the pitchfork. That is insanely just terrifying. The whole scene is terrifying. Jason from over at Sinister Cinema, if you've not seen his review for Halloween 5, he talks about the scene in depth, and it's just really, really unsettling to be, going at it for the first time, and your boyfriend dies when he's on top of you. From a pitchfork through the chest. That's crazy. That's something that you would never get over. Even if you lived through that, which unfortunately she did not. But it's just the way that he wears the mask, the way that the mask looks on him, and that was another one of my points here. This mask is unsettling. when they show it in the background and it's covered, it's out of focus, it's covered in the grain, it's out of focus, it looks creepy, especially in the woods. There are scenes in the woods where he's chasing Jamie that he looks like the boogeyman. The boogeyman is there, and you better fucking run, Danielle. Or Jamie, whatever your name is. Okay, guys, there it is. I talked for almost an hour about Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers, which will probably be edited down to like 12 minutes. And if I haven't convinced you that this is a movie worth checking out, and this is a movie that is most importantly underrated, I'm probably not going to change your mind. But if you do decide to check out Halloween 5, have somebody else watch this video, and maybe I can change their mind as well. Before we get to all of my closing statements about new movie reviews and stuff that I usually go through at the end of these videos, I really want to thank you guys for checking out this new series of semi-unscripted videos that I've been doing. I really, really appreciate all the new subscribers that have came in. We are at 730. We are creeping up on the 800 mark. That's nuts. Let's get it there. And I want to thank everybody that's been watching these videos. I've hit almost 100 videos, or I've hit almost uh almost 150 on my last 3 videos. So that is crazy. I really, really want to thank everybody that's been watching this series and subscribing to the channel. You guys are awesome. If you guys like the Y series that I've been doing and you have requests for things that you'd like to see, let me know down in the comments down below. Don't worry, these are not coming to an end anytime soon. I love doing this format of video. Okay, finally, on to new things coming to the channel. I have my review of Final Destination 4. I know I've been talking about it for like 2 weeks now. It is coming. I think I'm going to film that tomorrow. My first review in the Boogeyman series, and also my first review in the A Nightmare on Elm Street series. Welcome to prime time, biatch. Yes, it's happening. We are doing the A Nightmare on Elm Street, the Freddy series. We are going to be talking about them very, very, very soon. Also, guys, if you want to get yourself a Cavern of Terror t-shirt, head over to the Spreadshirt store, Cavern of Terror. There will be a link in the description box down below. And I haven't said this for a while. Stay metal, my friends, but most importantly, remember that Halloween 5 is underrated.